How are you going to do this?
Big booty bitches that be slanging that pit. When my big dick ballers that be spinning that shit. When my bad slim bitches that be riding that dick. When my rich ass niggas.
And then have the audacity to say this?
A list of jobs that men should not do, especially grown-ass men, okay? For one, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, any fast food restaurant, if you think that you're a grown-ass man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown-ass man in his goddamn 40s flipping my goddamn burger. Okay? Let it go. Leave it alone. That job is not for you. Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress, okay? Why are you a grown-ass man working at Ross? That makes absolutely no sense, okay? Target, Marshalls, like, guys, give it up. Leave these jobs to the kids. Leave these jobs to the teenagers. These are jobs you get in high school, in college. But once you're a grown-ass man, you do not need to be working in any fast food restaurant or any retail restaurant. And for you high-value men that think that it's high value to work for the city, let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay? There's nothing high value about making $70,000 a year. You men that think working for the city is high value,
I feel so bad for my 22-year-old son because this is what he got out there. Now, I understand this is not all women who are of her age. I get it. I'm not putting all of y'all in there. But a lot of women follow this type of thinking. And not just the young ones, but the ones that are my age. And I'm 52 years old, so I'm one of these grown-ass men to which she's talking about. This young lady calls herself Diamond the Body. In that first video, how to get a sugar daddy. And then this job of what a grown-ass man shouldn't be doing as far as his work. It obviously shows that the consumerism and title mentality, not the entitled, but the title mentality of many people in this world. Now, part of this, I took some personal offense. I used to have a government job. It was called being in the Marine Corps. And after you accumulate a certain rank, the benefits and privileges and the amount of money that you make, I took care of a family where my wife didn't have to work at the time. So therefore, you're saying that I wasn't a high value man at that time frame. I also used to work in retail. I was a store manager for CVS. Back in 1999, making about $52,000 a year. That would probably be the equivalent of about $70,000 now. But because I'm working in retail, I'm not high value. What about all the men who are out there and they're working at, say, oh, you know what? I have a brother. He works at Publix. He's now a store manager at Publix. He makes six figures. I know men that work at Walmart as store managers and general managers, and they make six figures or close to six figures. And to have the nerve to say that a man making $70,000 a year is not a high value man, do you realize that the average income for anyone in America is around $54,000? And the average income for a black man in America is right around $48,000 to $50,000. So therefore, you're saying that these men are not high value simply based on how much money they make. And you threw construction. Do you know how much construction workers make? Especially if you're a welder or you're a brick mason or, you know, you have a targeted skill. You have no freaking idea. That shows that you're caught up into what a person's title is. What a person's title is. I remember this one time when I got divorced and I was dating. And I went out with this young lady and she was a lawyer. And she asked me what did I do for a living. I told her I was a personal trainer. And the reason why I only said a personal trainer at the time frame is because I had been inundated with all these women who, when I told them that I owned a gym, they started seeing dollar signs. And that bothered me because I wanted somebody to be with me for me, not for a title. And when I dated this woman for about 2 to 3 short weeks, she consistently would say how she had a problem with me being a personal trainer. And then when I told her, well, I own the gym, she still had a problem with the fact that I owned the gym because she didn't feel the title was high enough. This is the bullshit that is in people's mind today. That the title or the amount of money is the determining factor for the character of who you are. If I'm providing a living that is good enough for whatever woman to be a part of, that is what determines the value of myself as far as money is concerned. If she has a decent house that she's living in, she has a decent car, she has decent clothes, she has food, she has shelter, we have vacations, we go out, we date, and we're not sitting up here struggling with credit cards, struggling with debt, spending more money than we make, but have a good retirement package, an investment, let me not say retirement, because I don't believe in retirement, have a good investment package that's being created for her, not value, not a high value. Now, I'm going to end this with this thought process though. This is what this woman chooses for herself, and she is well within her rights to choose that for herself. But to look at this woman who was a stripper and now is trying to be a rapper, and she thinks that some high-valued man that she would, what she would consider to be a high-value man, is going to want her. And I've seen the dude that you with, but you think that that person, that any other person, some man who is a doctor or a lawyer or have one of the titles that you think is appropriate for a high-value man, is going to want you? You are sorely mistaken, young lady. If I met you and you were digging me, I would only look at you as something to do, something to conquer, something to just have fun with. And nothing against women who are strippers, because I think that a smart woman who is stripping and she's investing that money is a smart thing. I have no problems with a woman taking on that role. But if you think that I'm going to value you and your mentality and your thinking, if you can't look at me and look at the person that I am, and you can't understand the intellect that I have, and you can't understand the culture that I have, then you're not worth being with me. You are a low-value woman, because I doubt very seriously that you and I can hold an intelligent conversation that would pique my interest of my mind. Because most men who are of high value, as you put them, are also sapiosexual, meaning that if you can't stimulate their intellect, then you are not worthy to take part in their finances and to take part in the cultural realm that they exist in. I know and hope that this is the minor view of people and not the larger view of people, because most men don't give a shit about how much money a woman makes. We care about the peace she brings, the fun she brings, the stimulation of the mind, and yes, the stimulation of the body. That's what we really care about. But to deal with such ignorance is something that we do not care to deal with. So you have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.